Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Recession Resistant Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Brandon Cobb, co-founder of HBG Capital, and today's going to be a fun one because I want to give you the perfect recipe for a partnership. As the old saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's exactly what this is today, is identifying the right people to go far with. You're not going to want to miss this. But before we jump in, if you've been interested in learning more about creating passive income from real estate direct to your bank account while letting other people do all the heavy lifting, head on over to our website, hbgcapital.net, and sign up on our calendar. We look forward to getting to know you. All right, so let's jump in. I've got several points written down right here. And just to give you some context and a background, I've had a partner for, I think, going on 7 years now. And one of the interesting things I've noticed over time as we've built this business together and been on this incredible journey together is good partnerships are rare. Holy schmoly. I've seen so many partnerships dissolve, and probably hundreds, I kid you not, between the different mastermind groups I've been in, networking with other people who have similar business to ours, networking with other business builders, networking with other business owners, networking with other fund managers. And it is extremely rare for a partnership to last a long time. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons on why that is and how to prevent it. And better yet, how you can forward see a partnership not working out. And these things came to me because somebody asked me, I was on a call with someone one time, it might've been my cousin. And he asked me, like, why do you have a partner? It's so much better when you can make all the decisions yourself. And to a certain extent, I kind of agreed with him. I said, yeah, I can see your point, but there's no way I would have been able to do what we've done in the time frame that we've done it in without having some help that had a vested interest in its success. So the first thing, if you're going to do any kind of partnership, if you're looking for, I don't know, if you're a fund manager looking for an operator to build something in an area, or you're looking to buy a business with somebody or partner on a business, these are the things that you have to look for. Make sure you do these 4 things. I can guarantee if you do these 4 things and they hit, you will have a successful partnership. Thing number 1 is you have to have the same vision. And this is where things start to diverge. If you ever noticed your partner and yourself starting to drift a little bit in their vision, and that vision's not aligned, then the partnership is not going to work long term. There's a divergence, there's a fork in the road, and one person's got to go one way and the other person's got to go the other way. But that fork in the road is not the same road. It's 2 different roads, and people are going to take two different directions. So if you ever notice the vision with your partner starting to change, that's one sign that it's not going to work out in the long term. But selecting somebody who has this same vision is very important because it means they're going to be emotionally invested in the success of the vision for the long term. I've seen people hire people or go into a partnership or bring on a strategic partner that didn't have the same vision for the organization or the same plan. And it was a recipe for disaster. It never works out. So this one time I do remember, I'll tell you this story real quick. There were it was another business and a mastermind. These 2 guys were scaling this wholesaling business just fanatically. Like, these guys were on fire. They went from $0 to like $3 million in like 2.5, 3 years. I've never seen that kind of growth that quick. And they were both really stand-up guys. One of them, both of them actually very, very religious backgrounds, great core values. They were great guys. They're people in this business just took off. And it was amazing to see them fly the way that they did. And I love talking with them and getting the tips and tricks and what was working and what was not working. And then about a year ago, I reached out to one of them, and the business was dead, completely dead. And I asked him what happened. And he said, well, my partner, he had a different vision. He wanted to start, buying and holding rentals and doing the long-term rental hold game. And, I was wanting to get into the coaching thing and start a coaching business. And so our paths just kind of drifted and we shut everything down. And I was like, holy crap, like what a tragedy. Like these guys were Superman, built this big giant business, were doing really well. And then it all just shut down, all because their vision wasn't aligned. So make sure that you're picking somebody that's got the same vision, long-term vision as you do. The second is core values. So if your core values are integrity and extreme ownership and service first, and you are partnering with somebody that really just wants to make a lot of money, and maybe they're a great business person, right? They've been very successful. Maybe they've even started and grown some other businesses and sold them and been successful, but they just want to make money. They don't really want to help people. And at your core, you do. That's going to be a problem because you're not going to like working with that person. You're going to feel like their efforts and time spent is not directly aligned with what you want to accomplish. And so you're going to have that big core value clash right there. One of the things that we do when we're hiring somebody in our organization is we try our best to bring everybody in with the same core values. And one of the questions that I ask, because one of our core values is growth mindedness. Everybody in our organization is always trying to be better. They're always trying to grow. They're always trying to get to the next level. They're listening to podcasts. They're reading books. I'll ask them in the interview process, tell me about the past 4 or 5 books that you've read, listened to, or podcasts. What did you learn from it? And if that person can't tell me anything, or they stall and tell me it's been a long, long time, I automatically know that that person's not the right fit. And that's okay. It's just there's not a core value fit, because I know that if they come into our organization, they're not going to like being around a bunch of people who are trying to get to the next level. And the people who are trying to get to the next level and do bigger and better things within our organization, they're not going to like being around someone that pulls them down, or an energy vampire that's not on the same wavelength. So it's very important that when you're selecting a partner, make sure you know what your core values are and that they align and the other person has the same core values. And if you don't know what your core values are, a great exercise is to write down the names of all the people that you admire, all of your role models, and write down the qualities that you admire about them. That'll tell you a lot about what your core values are. The third feature that you want to look for in a partner is synergy. So in our organization, I hate construction. Not only do I not know which way to swing a hammer, but I just can't stand dealing with contractors. I don't like getting dirty. Like everything that is construction, when I was building and managing these projects, I was miserable. Like I hated it. I can do it. I've built houses. I've rehabbed houses. I have GC'd everything. I actually have a GC license. Like I've done that, but I do not like it. I hate it. My partner loves it. He thrives in the chaotic environments and the people not showing up. And I don't know, maybe like he just enjoys screaming at contractors. I don't know. But there's a synergy between us because I'm very detail oriented. I like to organize everything and put it in boxes. So it makes me a great fit for, and I also really enjoy sales as well. Raising capital, hiring people. I take care of all the finances. If he was in charge of the finances, it would look like a tornado went through. You see those things on TV where these tornadoes go through these towns and it's just trash everywhere. That's what our books would look like. And I would freak out because I have to have everything nice, neat every single day, even my house. Sometimes I feel like my fiance is a slob and how she throws everything together. Like every single day, I want the house clean. That's just who I am. So we complement each other. He wouldn't be able to do this because he would not have the financial literacy or know what the heck's going on, or if the business is even profitable, or how much money we have, or how to pay the debts off. He would have no clue. But I couldn't do it either because I don't want to get out there and I don't want to manage construction. And even though we've got a team that's doing that, he can always take it over if need be and fill in. And he knows what the big potential issues could be so that he can insert himself in those and they're not a problem later on with, someone that we could potentially hire. So make sure there's synergy. Make sure that your strengths complement their weaknesses, and your strengths your strengths complement their weaknesses, and make sure that their strengths complement your weaknesses. So you guys got a synergy. And number 4, and finally, to make a recipe work for a partnership, you need to set expectations. Another way of saying this is creating accountability. What is each partner going to be accountable for? Because if 2 people are accountable for something, nobody's accountable for it. You have to have accountability in order for things to get done and to make sure things don't slip through the cracks and cause a big problem. I remember for the longest time, my partner and I, we never had a system for like identifying all the different features and layouts of the homes that we were building. We'd get like the square footage and kind of like a product type, the sales price, but we found ourselves like fighting at the very last minute on like what the heck we were going to do. And that was dependent on the pricing, and it was holding up this whole thing. I remember getting mad at him, and he was getting mad at me, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, we don't have any accountability for either one of us being in charge of deciding exactly what product we're going to build. And so I took over that responsibility, and I completely got it off his plate. And since I took it over and I owned it, there have been no more issues around that particular subject because we've assigned accountability to it. Every task in the organization needs somebody assigned to it, and they need to know that they're assigned to it. So creating those expectations are a great recipe for a great partnership. That's it for today. Again, if you've been interested in learning more about creating passive income from real estate, head on over to our website, hbgcapital.net, sign up for a call. We look forward to getting to know you. Until next time.